Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Gideon. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Rulebase, and today I'm going to be presenting a little bit about what we've been working on. Everyone's favorite topic, back office automation. Okay, I see a bunch of claps in the background. To give you context on why we started this company in the first place, it's important to understand what every single financial service in this room is actually selling to their customers. Can anyone guess what the single thing that we're selling to our customers when we engage them today? If you were thinking trust, that's correct. Trust is the reason why a customer decides to open up an account with you. Trust is the reason why they decide to take out a mortgage with you versus a competitor. But the problem with trust is, trust today doesn't break in the large moments. It breaks in the small daily paper cuts. It breaks in the dispute that takes 30 days to resolve rather than 20 minutes. It breaks in the fraud investigation that takes 20 minutes to respond to a customer rather than 5 minutes. Again, today, teams, everyone in this room understands that the operations team is on the front line of building that trust, but majority of the time, they're swamped. We have the best-in-class tools across the back office, but there's one fundamental problem. None of these tools speak to each other. Rulebase changes that. We built one AI agent that's able to review every single customer interaction in real time, pull all the necessary context from your back office tools, and allow the analysts to get one single pane of view to make a decision in 5 minutes rather than 60 minutes. We're live with some of the largest financial services across the world. Excited to show you how it works. Let's move to the laptop. So, starting off with a really basic view that everyone is probably very, very familiar with today. Our customers come through our customer service channel and they're complaining about a transaction they disputed 47 days ago that they've not received a response to. Now, typically what would happen in this case is a customer service analyst would go into the back office, would message maybe someone on the risk team, would say like, hey, is there any update with this dispute that has been made? The person on risk would go into Galileo, they might go into your back office tools, for example, so Unit 24 for your AML to see, okay, what actually happened with this case? They might look at the previous tickets with this customer to try and build a sense of this case before responding to the customer service agent who then needs to respond to the customer. Rulebase does something completely different. Let me go into an example of the demo to try and explain what we have here. So with Rulebase, when a customer messages about a dispute, for example, that they haven't received a response to, we automatically, in real time, build the complete case and complete view of every single interaction that customer has had in reference to that dispute. We pull information from your core banking systems, we pull information from your dispute processing systems, we pull information from your CRM or CAS systems, and we aggregate everything in a central view. So here, for example, we're mentioning that this specific customer, there's a Regi provisional credit that's due in 23 hours. Here's every single structure around this case. Now, just to set context here, typically it takes 60 minutes or so to pull all the necessary context so that you have a complete picture on what actually needs to happen in this case. Rulebase essentially takes that into 10 seconds. And so here, I pulled everything around this specific case, broken down across the last few customer interactions, but I want to understand a little bit more what actually went wrong in this case. What did we miss? So I'm just going to click investigate this case and understand why this case is stuck. Again, typically this is run on autopilot, for example, so everything's already prepared, but I wanted to kind of really demonstrate how it works. So here, there's a couple of things that it's done. It's been able to look through not only your registry and SOP context, but it's looking through also every single customer interaction across the back office. And it's built a case here that explains both the reasoning grounded in actual data from the back office, but precisely it's telling you exactly what are the recommendations for this case. So in this case, for example, it's telling you a provisional credit needs to be issued, and it's also telling you, for example, the communication that needs to go to the customer. Now, I'm just going to approve both of these. Just quickly, approve experience. So again, it's giving you the exact things, for example, that needs to be communicated both internally as well as externally. Now, the other thing that's really interesting about Rulebase, and this is where the proactivity in terms of our AI agents come into place, is that we also not only allow you to resolve that specific case that's happened, but we also are looking at similar cases to this existing case that we've had, so that before the next issue pops up, our proactive AI agents are going to be in place to be able to resolve that issue. So in this case, for example, we're telling you that we've actually found 47 similar cases that are going to have a missed Reg E deadline in the next 24 hours or so. And so here you can deploy an agent, for example, that is, again, going to look at your SOPs, going to look at your back office systems, and now is going to build an AI agent that resolves these cases and follows this same practice that we've gone just now. And so, again, not only does that mean that you're able to resolve this case in real time in the 30 seconds, but you're able to resolve cases that are very, very similar or exactly the same pattern that are going to also run into the same issue. Now, going back to what we initially started off on and how I think about trust today. Every single customer interaction is an opportunity for us to build trust with our consumers. Rulebase allows you to deploy AI agents that not only automate your customer operations, but more precisely allow you to re-engage with trust. Allow you to re-engage those customers directly at the point of need without waiting hours and hours and hours to respond to them. We're live with some of the largest financial institutions across the world, and the key recurring feedback we receive is, on average, they're able to 3x their team's output while reducing costs by 30%. So imagine, for example, you didn't have to add any additional headcount to respond faster to any customers. You didn't have to buy any additional tools. You use your current tools that you have in place, and you layer on top of that a really proactive, intelligent AI agent that is able to help resolve some of those customer operations. I'm excited. We're going to be in our booth later, so if any of this is remotely interesting to you, I would love to have a conversation. Thank you, everybody.